Welcome back. This is a very special closing out of our programming for the year. So we're happy to have you here. But don't worry, we'll definitely be back in the new year with more programming. Our mission, our transmission home base is in Long Beach, and we would like to acknowledge the Tongva people as the stewards of this land before we came to live here. We take acknowledgement very seriously, and we invite you to also, if you're not sure of the original stewards of your land, we invite you to do that work and encourage you to find out, because these cultures and these people are alive and well, and that's what we are honoring and acknowledging to this day. As is our mission, a Pacifica Transmission is our way of enhancing cultural competency and showcasing the vibrant talents and histories of the Indigenous peoples and Indigenous artists in our community. Each artist is invited to the Pacific Island Ethnic Art Museum to be paired with ancestors from the museum's archive. This is an incredible gift to us Pacific Islanders living away from home, because PIAM is the only museum in the contiguous United States with a mission to amplify the collective wisdom of the people of Oceania. It's also a collection by our community. Many of these sacred objects come from families and have been donated or stored at PIAM through the years. So please go ahead and find PIAM on Instagram at @PIAM_arts. Of course, this couldn't happen without the generous support of the Robert Gumbiner Foundation and the Rumba Foundation of Long Beach. It's my pleasure and honor to introduce the director of PIAM, Auntie Fran. Hello, Auntie Fran. Spotlight. She's the steward for this home to this incredible collection. So Hafaday and welcome, Auntie Fran. We would also like to acknowledge the presence of an honored guest and community elder, Auntie Audrey Aufia Aumaloa Fatasi Laie Kawai Opua Alo. Afia Mai, and mahalo for joining us, Auntie Audrey. I'm gonna spotlight you as well.
Aloha mai kākou. Ma lo lava soifua whawhitai lava mo le awangoe whaisinga upu like Kiki. So I am Samoan Hawaiian, so I kind of sort of flip back and forth a little bit, so just don't mind me. So I come by my confusion very, very honestly. It was indeed an honor when my sister Fran invited me to bring the kauri down into the fale. Fran, I'm going to try not to cry. And so if you would allow me, please, at this time, to offer the same chant that I offered when I walked the kauri into the fale.
Absolutely.
So what this is, it's to grant us the wisdom from above, the hidden secrets of the chants. Grant it to us, grant it to us, grant it to us. E ho mai ka ike mai luna mai e. O na mea huna no e au na mele. E ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai e a. E ho mai ka ike mai luna mai e. O na mea huna no e au o na mele e. E ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai e a. E ho mai ka ike mai luna mai e. O na mea huna no e au o na mele. E ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai. Mahalo.
Mahalo nui, Sidus Ma'asi, Miga Ma'asi, Auntie Audrey. I'm going to take a breath, and it's with great pleasure. We want to welcome Hadimai and Kia ora to Amelia Butler. Amelia Butler is of Ngatiwai and Ngatiawa and Ngāpuri descent. She attended Kohengareo Maori language preschool at a young age and grew up in Auckland, New Zealand. Throughout her childhood, Amelia's mother maintained a strong connection with her Tauranga Waiwai, our standing place, by regularly taking Amelia and her brother and sister up north to visit their grandmother and other whānau members. Amelia studied the Maori language by correspondence at secondary school and led her school's Kapahaka, traditional Maori performance group. She went on to major in Maori language, culture, and performance in her arts degree and Maori land law in her law degree at the University of Auckland. She has also achieved a certificate in contemporary Maori performance arts from AUT. Amelia moved to America in 2009 and currently resides in Los Angeles. She started the LA-based Kapahaka group, Ngā Anahara Maori, the Maori Angeles, in 2017, and leads the group. Amelia speaks Te Reo to her 2 daughters, and they often perform with her Kapahaka group. In addition to performing, she teaches the Maori language through her contemporary Learn Maori Abroad. Amelia also teaches haka and poi workshops for schools, dance studios, organizations, and Polynesian performance groups. What a mighty bio. Welcome, and kia ora. I'm going to pass over and give the floor to Amelia.
Kia ora, Mickey. Tihei Māori ora. Ko te mea tuatahi ngā mihi nui ki te tangata o tēnei whenua, tēnā koutou. Ko te mea tuaroa ngā mihi nui ki o tātou tūpuna, haere, haere, haere. Ko te mea tuatoru ngā mihi nui ki tēnei whare, tēnā koe. Ko te mea tuawha ngā mihi nui ki a koutou katoa. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Kia ora everyone, I'm Amelia. I am an Indigenous Māori woman from Aotearoa, New Zealand, and I'm thrilled to be with you all today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in wherever you are. If you're here with us in the Zoom room, or if you are with us on Facebook watching it live, thank you. Ngā mihi nunui ki a koutou katoa. I want to do a special acknowledgement to my parents who are also here. They are tuning in live from New Zealand, so ngā mihi nui ki a korua. And I'm excited to connect with you all. Thank you for being here for our presentation. I am going to start us off now with a karakia. So a karakia is our te reo Māori word for a prayer, but it can also be translated as an incantation of nature. So join with me now, hono mai, for this karakia. Ko te reo o ngā manu tērā, ka tangi nei te ao. Ko uru ko te rā ki wainga nui, ia rangi nui, ia papatū ānuku. Ko rangi nui ki runga, ko papatū ānuku ki raro. Ka heke iho ko ngā roimata ia rangi nui. Ka heke ake ko te kohu ia papatū ānuku. Ko te tohu tērā. Ka ora tawa i te ao, i te pō. Tūturu whakamaua kia tina. Tina, haumi e, hui e, tae ki e. Kia ora everyone. So that was the karakia that I just shared. And I started off my kōrero, my talk, by speaking in Māori. So the first thing I said was I acknowledged the tangata whenua, the people of the land I am on. So I am here in Los Angeles, California, United States of America. This is where I live in a town called Burbank. And I'd like to acknowledge the iwi, the tribe of this area, who is the Tongva tribe. I'm also wanting to acknowledge all of you. So whoever land you're currently on, I'd like to acknowledge our Indigenous brothers and sisters as the rightful owners of the lands we are on. So we acknowledge them and we stand with them as the rightful owners of the whenua of the land. The second thing I acknowledge was all of our tupuna, all of our ancestors. And this is also very significant for what I'll be sharing today. So as Māori, we believe our tupuna, our ancestors are with us, that they're watching over us, that they're protecting us. So I acknowledge all of our ancestors who are here with us, who are in this space with us right now. The third thing I spoke about was the whare. But because our whare, or where we're meeting nowadays, it looks very different. I am acknowledging this whare, which is te whare o Zoom. Zoom, we're here in the Zoom room. And we're also live on Pukumata on Facebook. So thank you to Zoom and Facebook for making this transition possible today. And lastly, I acknowledge you all for being here. So again, thank you all for joining us today. All right, so we are going to go now to our presentation. So Mickey is going to bring up the slides, and I'm really excited to share with you what my experience and stories from my connection with Ngā Uri, which translates as the descendants in Te Reo Māori. All right, so here we see, this is Ngā Uri, the descendants. And I'll talk more about the piece that I connected with at the Pacific Island Ethnic Arts Museum a little later. But for now, I have this beautiful picture here on screen of a Kauri tree. So this particular Kauri tree is the largest Kauri tree in the world. It's located in the Waipawa Forest, which is in the Te Tai Tokero region, Northern region. And that's also the region that my whānau that we are from. Okay, so this tree is named Tāne Mahuta after our atua, our god of the forest and birds, Tāne Mahuta. All right, so let's bring on the next slide. All right, so this is a historical account of my ancestral piece that I connected with at the museum. So Northland, where I'm from, there was a gold rush, but it wasn't in the traditional sense of, looking for gold. It was actually looking for kauri resin. So the resin or the gum that is produced by the kauri tree. All right, so this is known as Northland's buried treasure. So according to this article, gold fever struck northern New Zealand in the late 1800s and peaked at the turn of the century with 20,000 fortune hunters spread across some 800,000 acres of land. What they were seeking was not metallic gold, but kauri gum, a rich golden resin which polishes up like glass and is one of this country's most beautiful natural products. So that's a little bit of the history of my piece of the kauri resin. And here we have a gum digger. So this lone gum digger, he has his knife and he is scraping off the oxidized rind of the kauri gum. Okay, he's using a knife to do that, and he's got the kauri gum on a stake. So kauri gum was valuable, and it is still valuable, and it was used traditionally by Māori for medicines. It was also something that we chewed. It helped with things like vomiting, but it was also used to start fires as a fire lighter and also to light torches. Another use of it was used in our Māori facial tattoos. So as you can see today, I'm wearing a moko kauai, which is a traditional Māori chin tattoo worn by women. We also have the mata ora, which are the full facial tattoos worn by men. So that's something that the kauri gum was traditionally used to make that ink that would go into our sacred facial tattoos. Okay, so here is my ancestral piece. So there I am holding one of the pieces in my hand at the museum. Okay, so my ancestral piece is a broken piece of kauri resin or kauri gum, which comes from the kauri tree. The kauri tree is native to Aotearoa, New Zealand. Okay, so as you can see, if you look closely at the picture of me holding a piece of the resin, there are a lot of layers. So this gum is made out of a lot of layers. Okay, and I'm going to go in and talk about that shortly. Also, you'll see in the other pictures that I set the pieces, the Kori resin out in a certain way, in a certain position. And I'm going to go into depth on that in a moment. But this is Ngā Uri, the descendants, which is the name I gave for this piece. Right. But before I talk more specifically about the piece, I wanted to share with you more about the piece from a Te Ao Māori, from a Māori cultural perspective. So in Te Ao Māori, in our Māori worldview, in our Māori world, we have many, many atua. We have different atua for different elements of nature. For example, we have Tangaroa, who is our atua, or god of the sea. We also have Hine Moana Nui, who is our atua, or goddess of the sea. Okay, so through the many, many atua we have in Te Ao Māori, that's how we connect with nature, that's how we connect with each other, and that's how we as Māori believe and how we are all connected. We're all one, connected to each other, our ancestors, all of our atua Māori. All right, so specifically Tane Mahuta is a well-known atua or god in Te Ao Māori. So he is the god of the forest and also the god of the birds. So as Māori, we believe that Te Ao Māori, the Māori world, came from our creation story, where Rangi Nui, our sky father, and Papa Tuanuku, our earth mother, were initially in a tight embrace, and there was no light in the world. So Rangi and Papa's children exist in Te Po, the darkness. So they gave birth to many, many children, which are the many, many atua we have. But one particular child who was Tane Mahuta, he was the one who separated Papa Tuanuku and Rangi Nui, so that now we have the sky above, our sky father, Rangi Nui, and our earth mother, Papa Tuanuku, below. And I actually spoke about that in the karakia I did earlier. Right, so Tane Mahuta and his brothers came up with a plan to separate their parents because they no longer wanted to live in darkness. So Tane, he connected with the ground, and which was Papa Tuanuku, and he used his feet to push his father, Rangi Nui, to push him all the way up to the heavens. And so that's why we have this separation of the world we live in now. Tane Mahuta is also responsible for creating the first woman, known as Hineahuone at Kurawaka. Tane Mahuta also fetched 3 baskets of knowledge that brought the knowledge of Mātauranga Māori to Ngā Iwi Māori, to the Māori people. So he is very well known. But in this context, we're connecting with Tane Mahuta as the atua of the forest. All right, so going on to the next slide, what is whakapapa? So as Māori, the concept of whakapapa is intrinsic and fundamental to our worldview. So whakapapa translates as family genealogy. It's also a line of descent from our ancestors down to the present day and beyond. So our whakapapa links us to all other living things, to the earth and the sky, and back to the beginning of the universe. So as Māori, that we believe that we ultimately came from the union between Rangi Nui, the sky father, and Papa Tuanuku, our earth mother, that we all came from that. And for even those who are not Māori, we see anyone who is not Ngā Iwi Māori, not Māori, as another tribe who also came from that same union. Okay, so that is our whakapapa. We whakapapa right back to the beginning of the universe, which for us as Māori is Rangi Nui and Papa Tuanuku. All right, so another part of the meaning of the word whakapapa is layers. So to place in layers or lay one upon another. So as I was saying earlier, when we saw the photo of me holding one of the pieces, there are many, 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 many layers in that. So it's very symbolic in the sense that all those layers represent our whakapapa. They represent all the different layers of whakapapa that we all have. All right, so going on to the next slide. So now we're looking at the whakapapa of Ngā Uri, so the whakapapa of the Kauri resin, my ancestral piece. All right, so the resin, as you know, it came from a great Kauri tree, which at one point was planted in a great Kauri forest in Aotearoa, New Zealand. So at some point, the tree was part of a Kauri tree, which was planted in New Zealand. The tree comes from, and so that particular tree that this particular Kauri was part of, that tree came from another tree, right? From a seed of another Kauri tree. And so on and so forth. And so we go back till we reach Tāne Mahuta, the atua or the god of the forest, the son of Ranginui and Papatūānuku, who I spoke about earlier. Okay, so we have the Kauri resin. We can take that back all the way to the Kauri tree in New Zealand, then to the seed, and to all the Kauri trees that came before that, to Tāne Mahuta, to the beginning of the universe, Rangi and Papatūānuku. All right, and so as the whakapapa of the tree exists, so does ours, whether we know what it is or not. So it's important for us to know that we all come from somewhere. So whether you know your whakapapa, you know your family genealogy, or you don't know where you come from, we all come from somewhere. And so that exists, and it exists. You might know it, or if you don't know it, it exists, but it exists in potential form. Okay, so we all come from our ancestors and go on to become ancestors. We are here today because of our ancestors. So like many Indigenous people, for us, our ancestors are very vitally important. They're the reason we're here today. We often, speak with our ancestors, we pray to our ancestors. So we're connected to our ancestors. All right, and then lastly, our uri, which means descendants, will live on in the world that we create for them. Okay, so this is something for us to think about, that because if we're thinking about in terms of whakapapa, family genealogy, and our whole whakapapa, not only is that everyone who came before us, but it's everyone who will come after us. All right, so this is the family tree of Ngā Uri. And this is something that I created from my time with the piece, from my time with the Kauri resin. So in the top there, so if you remember back to the photos, I laid the piece out in a specific way. So the top, which was the piece I was holding, is the rangatira, that's the chief, okay? Or also that is the tupuna or the tipuna, the ancestor, okay? Then coming down, we have the wahine. So there are three women, okay? The three wahine. And another way we can interpret this is as ngā maraekura, which is a divine feminine energy, okay? We also then go down and we have a tāne and wahine. So these two pieces are the parents, ngā mātua, okay? And then from the parents come ngā tamariki, the children, and then from children come ngā mokopuna, the grandchildren. And then there is a last bottom line, which is in it's kind of, you can't see it as well because it's not in the green. And that line symbolizes all of our mokopuna, all of our grandchildren, all of our uri, that we will never know, that we will never meet, and that remain unknown. Or we know they will exist, but at this point they are unknown, and we will never meet them face to face. Okay, and so on the other side of the screen, I interpreted the tree as a tree, and also as connecting back to the Kauri tree, also these elements. Okay, so the raro, the roots, that's what the rangatira that the pisa was holding symbolizes, the roots in the ground, planting in the ground. Then the wahine, the female element, that is our papa tuanuku, our earth mother, or the one, the soil or the earth. Then we go to the tiwai or the tinana, so the trunk or the body, and that is represented by the parents, tane and wahine, male and female. Then we have kaupeka peka, the branches, and those are the children, ngā tamariki. And then we have ngā mokopuna, the leaves or rau. And then lastly, or the mokopuna that we cannot see, or you can see faintly there, those are kākono, ngā kākono, the seeds. And they exist in potential. So po is our name for dark or darkness. So that realm of being where Ranginui and Papatuanuku were in the tight embrace, it was te po. And so potential is what they all exist in the darkness and potential as seeds. All right, and so here it is. Here is another beautiful photo of the piece again. So we've got our rangatira at the top, our three wahine, our two mātua, our two parents. Then we have all the tamariki, the children there that you can see. Then you can see some little mokopuna there down the end. And then we have a carrier, which we cannot see into. And in that bag, there's little specks of dust. So as it's broken, there's been little bits of dust, but they've been kept and put in this muslin carrier. And so that's all the potential that we can't see yet, but it's there. Can't see what they look like, we won't meet them, but they're there. That's all of our ngā uri. Those are our descendants. Okay, so going to the name of the piece. So I named this piece Ngā Uri, which means the descendants. And this word descends from the word kauri. So this word came from the word kauri. So as you can see, so in Te Reo Māori, so ngā is our plural for that. Then the word ka means to ignite. Okay, so when you ignite something. And that was actually one of the uses of kauri, where it was used to start a fire, to ignite. So that's the ka in kauri. Then we also have uri, the descendants. So the uri in kauri is the descendants. So that came, so that the word ngā uri, it's the descendants descending from the word kauri. And then in there, we have o. So we've got in the middle of the word kauri, we have o. And in Te Reo Māori, that means me or I. So ko Amelia o, I am Amelia. All right, so the message from this is I or me, so I am igniting my descendants. Okay, so I, being O, am igniting, that's the ka, my descendants, the uri. Okay, and so I am responsible for creating the world that my descendants will live in. And so when we're talking about descendants, so we're looking at specifically 7 generations. So that's, you know, where we are now, 7 generations forward, okay? So we're looking at that realm. But in with whakapapa, it goes, it's an infinite web. It doesn't end just at 7 generations, but we're focusing today on the 7 generations. Okay? All right, so this is the message of this piece. Okay, so the message is, hear me, remember me, know me. So this is the message from the ngā uri, from the piece. Okay, so the piece is broken. So at one point it was together, but it's broken into many pieces. And what that symbolizes is our ancestral traditions have been broken by colonization, and it is our job to put the pieces back together. So it is going to look different when we put the pieces back together. It won't be the same. Okay, so the impact of colonization on our Indigenous and Pacific cultures, there is an impact, but it's our job to bring it all back and put it together. And it's going to be different. All right. And then our descendants remain unseen and exist in pure potential, or the potential, right? They exist in darkness. All right. And so that's the message. Hear me, remember me, know me. That is a message for all of us from our descendants. They want us to hear them. They want us to remember them. They want us to know them. Okay. So what we do now has an impact on the next 7 generations. So my question to you all is, what are we creating for our great, 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 great grandchildren? All right, and so I'd like to share this Māori whakatauki with you all. It's a Māori proverb. It is, he kākano ahau, I ruia mai I rangi Aotea. I am a seed sown in rangi Aotea. So rangi Aotea is another name for our traditional, our ancient homeland, or the heavens. And we are now going to listen to a waiata by a well-known Māori singer. His name is, he's singing it. His name is Stan Walker. He's very well known. So this song, it's about he kākano. It's about a seed, and that we are all seeds. We're planted and we grew, and that there are many seeds before us and many seeds after us, and that we are the seeds, and our descendants are the seeds. They symbolize the pure potential, because within the seed there is the power of the great Kauri tree growing to a great, great tree within a teeny tiny seed. Okay, so we're going to listen to this waiata, this song, and I'd really like you to take this time to reflect on the question I asked, which was, what are you creating for our great, 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 7 greats grandchildren? Okay, what are we creating? What are you creating? What are we collectively creating for our descendants? All right. Mickey, can we play the song? Here we go.
And I will never be Katsuana my pride I will show that you may know who I am. I am a warrior, a survivor, and more than who.
That song always gets and Walker.
Tokure toku o tokure toku mabi maurea toku whakakai mari my language is my strength and ornaments of grace an ornament of grace, an ornament of grace, an ornament of grace.
Oh. Ngā mihi nui kia koutou katoa, everyone. Thank you all so much. That last photo you saw was me. It was my two daughters. I had my little one on the back and, you know, my older one was talking to Auntie Fran. So it was 3 generations represented there with Auntie Fran, myself, and my 2 daughters who are aged 4 and 7. So that's something I want you to go away and think about. You know, what are you creating for our next generation, but not just the next one, for 7 generations from where we are now. Okay, what are you creating? You're welcome. If anyone would like to share the answer, you're welcome to. You're also welcome to email it to me, learnmaoriabroad@gmail.com. Or share it with us in the Zoom chat, whatever you feel comfortable with. But thank you all so much for being here today. Thank you for joining in, and feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or want to connect. I'd love to hear from you.
Kia ora, Saina, Ma'asi, Amelia. That was just incredibly touching and moving, and it was an absolute honor and privilege to have you share space. And I'll answer your question. I hope that I am building that space, helping to build out that space with many others for our future generations. So thank you. I'm just going to do a bit of housekeeping before I give the floor back over to Amelia. Thank you all. Your presence is very necessary and we just have so much extreme gratitude for you to come out and share this space with us. Tune back in next year. Follow us on Pacifica Transmissions on Facebook. We also have a YouTube page now. You see, we'll drop that in the chat. And look out for our many different ways of transmitting to you. We'll start back in the new year with our first artist back, JP, who's a muralist, very well known in Long Beach. And then after him, Moni, who is also a child of Auntie Audrey and one of the language teachers for Lagafa in Long Beach as well. So we're really excited, and we're also carving out more artist programming. So stay tuned. Thank you, Amelia. I'm gonna hand it back to you for a closing prayer.
Kia ora, Mickey, thank you. All right, everyone. So I'm going to close this off with this karakia whakamotunga. Kia tau kia tātou katoa, te atawhai o tō tātou ariki o Ihu Karaiti, me ta aroha o te atua, me te whiwhinga tahitanga ki te warua tapu, ake, 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 āmene. All right, kia ora everyone, ngā mihi nui.
Kia rangi nui